Hey, what's up? MG here from schoolfacts.net, and in this video, we'll be looking at task 1 of the programming section. Here we are asked to open our IDE, type the given code, execute it and observe its output. Also, to modify the code. For this video, we'll be using the C programming language and the CodeBlocks editor. So let's jump right in. So when you first launch your editor, it should look somewhat like this. It should display you this splash screen, and the way you start a new project is you can click here on create a new project, but the way I personally do it is you come to file, you click on file, you go to new, and then you select empty file, or you use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+Shift+N. Now this is our editor. The good thing with using an IDE or an integrated development environment is that it provides you with everything that you need in order to begin development. So we have an editor, we have our compiler, you even have debuggers. Whereas if you are not using an IDE, you would have to install these programs separately. So our IDE here is the CodeBlocks IDE, and that's what we're going to be using to write our C code. So the first instruction says that we should copy the code. So I'm just going to type that here. Now, when you begin typing, you'll notice that everything is black. There's no syntax highlighting, which is like coloring the different keywords and things like that. So if you want that to display, you have to let CodeBlocks know the kind of code you're writing. And the way we do that is simply just by saving the file. So you can just click on File, you click on Save File, you select where you want to save it. I'll just select my desktop and I'll save it as tax1.c, tax1.c. Always make sure that save as type here is on C or C++ files. When you click save, you can see now that our code has begin syntax highlighting. So declare our main function, and in it we have a printf that says hello world, an exclamation point and a new line, return 0. So let's say in the space below, write down each line of the source code and explain what it does. So let's go through step by step. In our source code here, the first line, which includes the standard input output.h, here #include stdio.h, is a preprocessor file, it's a preprocessor declaration, and it lets C know that before compiling this file, it has to go and find where stdio.h is and import it. So this first line tells us that we are going to be using some functions from this library. So that is why we're importing it, and C has a range of other libraries that we can always import and use, such as the math library that helps us to use math functions like sine, cos, square root and things like that. Now the main function is a very interesting function because every C program you write must have a main function. The main function is the entry point into your program. So every C program you write must always have a main function because it is the entry point into our program. Our main function here, it has a data type, a return type of int. Int stands for integer. So the return type of our main function is int. That is why here we have return 0. If it was not an integer, you could change return 0 to return 1 to return anything, but it's most probably good to return 0 because 0 is like a good exit code. And then we have printf. Printf is a function that is used to display something on the screen. I think that's the easiest way I can explain it. So the printf function comes from this library, the standard input library.h, the input output library, and printf is an output function that helps us to display things on the screen. So to execute this code, what we have to do is we first of all have to compile it, build the code, and then run it. To do that, you come to the menu bar up here and you click on build. From build, you can then take build and run, or you just press F9. So we'll click on build and run. It tells us that there's an error. Yeah, I forgot to put a semicolon. So I'll just save that again, and then I do the same thing. I build and run. So our program has executed and we can see hello world printed to the screen. Great. So the next task says we should modify our program to output the following sentences at once, each on a new line. So I'm just going to come in here and I type each of the sentences. The first is Earth is the third planet from the sun, and I put a semicolon. Printf, Earth has one moon. I put my semicolon, then printf, Earth quotes Earth is home, and I put my semicolon. So the thing you should understand with this is printf is a function, and we can call this function as many times as we like. Calling the function just means writing the function like this and then putting what we want the function to print. So printf, each time we call it and we put in something like this, it is going to print it on our screen. Now I'm going to build this function and I run it again. Good, so our program has executed, but now all the sentences are printing on the same line. The instruction says we have to make the sentences print on different lines. So the way we do that is by using the new line character. And the new line character is by you do it by including the /n where you want the new line to begin. So here I'll put a / and an n. I do the same thing here, /n. I do the same thing here, /n. And now if we build our code and run it, we should see that everything now prints on a new line. Great, so now we can see all our sentences are on a new line. So anywhere you put /n, it means a new line. It's like pressing enter on your keyboard. For instance, if I put it here before 3, you'll see that that sentence is also going to begin another new line just before the word third. Great, so you can see our sentence Earth is there, is on one line, third planet from the sun is at another line. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.